was the day that changed my life forever. My day had started out as mundane as usual. I am a scribe by trade. For many months now, I have been copying the words penned by David, one of our forefathers. I was on my way to the temple, and I noticed a mob of people gathering. Tension was in the air, making it seem hot and stifling. I could almost feel the anger vibrating. People rushed past me, jostling the scrolls I held in my arms. "Hey!" I yelled. "Watch where you're going!" People pressed into me from every side, making it impossible for me to make my way through the temple. I seemed unable to break free, so I allowed myself to be carried along the crowd. Something this exciting had to be seen, did it not? Imagine the shock and horror when I found myself at Golgotha, a place for condemned criminals to be executed. I didn't understand all the excitement in the people here to witness the execution of a lowly criminal, until I asked who it was. Jesus. That made sense. I had heard about this Jesus. A rebel, a miracle worker, a nutcase. It all depended on who was telling me. I glanced towards the three crosses, shrugged, and was about to go on my way. I had no stomach for these gruesome crucifixions. As I was turning, though, I glanced at the foot of the cross and stopped. There the Roman soldiers had the garments of Jesus on the ground. They were casting lots and gambling for his coat. Having already divided some of the clothing, I stood still. Something about that scene triggered something deep inside me. What was it? I just couldn't put my finger on it. Intrigued, I decided to watch on. Day turned into evening, and I watched as people walk by Jesus on the cross, wagging their head and spitting at him. I could hear them muttering under their breath at him. Then I wondered, what was it about this sight that was so familiar? Something stirred in my heart. I felt if I had smelled this before. So, I stayed. Suddenly, darkness fell. For 3 long hours, darkness covered the land. And at the 9th hour, Jesus cried out in a loud voice and said, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" I sank to the ground. All this seemed so eerily familiar. What did it all mean? I looked up and I heard Jesus gasp and moan. "I thirst," he managed to gasp out of dry lips. I watched a soldier offer him a sponge dipped in vinegar and saw his lips gulp the foul liquid. After he received the vinegar, he cried in anguish and said, "It is finished." I watched as his head bowed, and he gave up the ghost. Jesus had died. I put my head in my hands. This all meant something, but what was it? I thought back overnight to everything I'd seen and heard, and suddenly, in an instant, I knew. I thought back to the months I had spent penning the words of David, how in Psalms chapter 22, verse upon verse had described this awful night I had just seen. Verses poured into my head and into my heart. Psalms chapter 22, verse 18, "They part my garments among them, and they cast lots on my vesture." Of course, the soldiers gambling for Jesus' garment. Psalms chapter 22 and verse 7, "All they that see me, they laughing and scorn, they shoot out the lip, they shake the head." All the people mocking Jesus. Psalms chapter 22 and verse 1, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" Hadn't Jesus uttered those exact words in the moment when darkness covered the land? And then I thought of another of David's writings. How in Psalms chapter 69 and verse 21, it says, "They gave me gall for my meat, and in my thirst they gave me vinegar to drink." The vinegar that they gave Jesus. I stood up in excitement. All the pieces had fallen into place. This is the Messiah. This is the Messiah. I tried excitedly to tell people, but they just gave me blank stares and shuffled past me. How can you not see? It is right in front of you. David foretold of this. He penned it down many years ago so that we could see that this is the Messiah. He has fulfilled prophecy. This is Jesus, the Messiah and deliverer. All night I pleaded with my fellow Jews to see Jesus as he truly was, the Messiah that God had long promised, but it fell on deaf ears. And as the sun rose the next morning, Psalms chapter 22 and verse 14 was fulfilled, which says, "I am poured out like water." I watched as the Roman soldiers pierced Jesus' side and blood and water came out, and I bowed my head in reverence. I believed Jesus was Christ, God's Son, the Redeemer for all mankind. I turned around sadly to go home. All around me I saw people full of hate, contempt, and scorn for the one who had died for their sins. They looked for a hero coming to rescue them from the Romans, when in reality, Jesus was the final sacrifice, sent to fulfill prophecy and cleanse us from our sins. How could I, a lowly scribe, see something so clear? It was so written out. It was right in front of them the whole time. How could they not see it? Lord, please open their eyes.